set perfectly to live, many believe that more than luck had to be at play. During the Civil War and the Battle of Shiloh in 1862, there had been more than 23,000 casualties, and many soldiers were left wounded to lay in the freezing rain and thick mud for 2 days and 2 nights until help could arrive. When help finally arrived, they all noticed a glowing hue on all the wounds of the soldiers, and that the soldiers swore that God or a guardian angel had came down to save them until help had arrived. In reality, this was not purely God or a guardian angel, but instead had been a bacterium called P. luminescens that had crawled inside the wounds of the soldiers and gave off this glow in the hope that the soldiers could survive until help had arrived. During the Battle of Shiloh, P. luminescens or angel glow had the perfect conditions set to live, a unique glowing ability, and the ability to heal the soldiers until help could arrive. During the Battle of Shiloh, the battlefield had been plagued with the freezing rain and had turned all the soil into mud that the soldiers had to fight through, and eventually the wounded soldiers had to lay in while the help arrived. Inside this soil, it hosted a specific microscopic worm called nematodes, which all had a bacterium inside their stomach called P. luminescens that could survive inside the nematodes. As the nematodes continued through the soil on the battlefield, hunting for insect larvae to eat and survive, and ended up running to the wounds of the soldiers, eventually going inside of the soldiers and living. As the soldiers had been lying inside the freezing rain, their body temperature had dropped somewhere to where the nematodes could survive at that temperature instead of the normal body temperature. As the temp had been lower, the nematodes and P. luminescens could multiply inside the wounds of the soldiers, giving off the glow that they saw. As the bacteria multiplied, it gave off a greenish blue glow that the soldiers saw and thought they had been a sign of God saving them. In reality, P. luminescens had an enzyme inside their body called luciferase. When luciferase reacted with oxygen, it gave off a glow that the soldiers saw that could be seen as bioluminescent. Salami Hornbacher in Science ABC quoted a lieutenant during this battle that he swore that God and guardian angels had came to bring the soldiers back to home. This is when they gave P. luminescens the term angel glow, as the soldiers had thought that angels had came to save them through the light. As P. luminescens did give off this glow, it was essentially a beacon of survival for the soldiers. The beacon of light that P. luminescens gave off drew in insects and bugs to the soldiers that the nematodes could feed off of, getting a full cycle of the nematodes and P. luminescens to the soldiers. As the soldiers saw the light on their wounds, it gave them hope that they could survive until help had arrived, and it did just then. As the nematodes and P. luminescens entered inside the wounds of the soldiers, it needed something to feed off of, and it eventually went to feed off the skin around the wound. With the skin around the wound being so heavy in germs and bacteria, it released an antibiotic to stop other bacteria coming and stealing the food, destroying many types of bacteria, including Clostridium perfringens, which had been a leading cause of death of amputees during this time. Emil Morris and All Things Interesting proved this through a 2001 test shown through a high school experiment that angel glow had been the reason that it killed off bacteria, and that P. luminescens was the reason that the glow happened inside the wounds. When help arrived, they noticed that all the wounds on the soldiers had clean, healthy wounds that were not infected at all, and that they were the reason that they could survive. P. luminescens was this reason, as it ate all the bacteria inside the wounds and saved the soldiers before they could die. During the Battle of Shiloh, angel glow had perfect conditions set to live, a unique ability to glow, and could heal the soldiers before help arrived. I believed that P. luminescens did help save the soldiers, but also that the light that they were shown gave the soldiers hope to continue fighting until help arrived. Civil War buffs and many other historians believe that with all the luck set to save the soldiers, there had been a second hand at play.